I'm Mike.
And I'm Adam.
And this is Stuff and Waffle. Two friends talking about stuff, and often as not, waffling with frequent reference to Bond cars.
We start this week on a rare, serious note. We were both deeply saddened, upset, really, by the news last weekend of the very untimely passing of Quentin Willson. A real mainstay of British motoring, everything, really.
Well, yeah, it was a part of our youth, and then continued to be a part of all things car ever since.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he used to be on, like, when I was a kid, it was Quentin on Top Gear, and then as things progressed, it was Quentin on Fifth Gear as well.
He was on Fifth Gear. He did the Cars to Star.
Oh, I love the Cars to Star.
I loved that as well. That was a brilliant series.
Just he had that knack, didn't he? It's like of just incredibly informative, but
yeah, he wasn't given to mucking around, but he was, as you say, informative, but also really entertaining, which is a rare skill to pull off. And also the depth of knowledge there was huge.
And all of the people that knew him have just had nothing but wonderful things to say about him.
Even people I've seen this week, even people who were vehemently opposed to his support of electric vehicles in recent years, have still come out and said, I'm really upset by this. I didn't agree with anything he said over the last few years, but this is terrible. This has really affected me. I'm really upset by this. Really saddened by this. I think he just had that ability that whatever the subject, whether you agreed with him or not, because he put his point across so well, you sort of had to respect it.
Yes, you did. And oh dear, what? No one saw it coming, which makes it even worse.
No, nobody. Well, he wasn't ill for very long, I don't think. I mean, even earlier this year, he was at Everything Electric, which is what Fully Charged is now called, at their show at Farnborough. So, I mean, he was still out and about, even just a few months ago. So I think a very short illness, which is how you want it, I would suggest.
Not so good.
And of course, there was a lot going on with him behind the scenes. He wasn't just presenter, journalist. He was a tireless campaigner, lobbying governments, appearing before select committees on transparent pricing of vehicles and used vehicles, particularly fair fuel prices back in the day.
Well, he did that for Rightold's, didn't he? Because Fair Fuel, he was part of Fair Fuel UK, wasn't he?
He was. I don't think he was one of the founders, but he got involved in it quite early on.
I think that's right, yeah.
Also, warranty-wise, with warranties for used vehicles, third-party warranties for used vehicles.
That was always his thing. I mean, you think back to old Top Gear, it was always Quentin pushing the benefits of a used car.
Absolutely. Yeah, only just run in at 120,000 miles. Yeah, plenty of life left in this. And in more recent times, campaigning for the transition to electric vehicles, and as he did for fuels, fairer pricing and more transparent pricing for charging. And has lobbied the government in recent years for more extensive charging infrastructure, better pricing, better public information about EVs, trying to squash some of the nonsense that is still out there. That was part of his role with Fully Charged, was to try and cut through the rubbish. It started off as the Stop Burning Stuff campaign, but became the Stop BS campaign to try and tackle some of the misinformation that's out there. He never seemed to slow down.
No, fair play.
And a real one-off who will be greatly missed by everyone. He
will indeed.
I was genuinely upset when I read the news. I couldn't believe it. Like you said, I didn't even know he was ill.
I don't think anyone did they?
No, doesn't seem to. And as you said, the outpouring of sentiment online has been fantastic. Even from people who didn't agree with his stance on electric vehicles, they still respected him.
Yeah, it's incredibly sad. It really is.
It is incredibly sad. 68 years old, which is far too young.
Yeah, we would expect a lot more these days, but he's probably the reason we have moments of being sensible on here. We occasionally dish out a bit of consumer advice, and
something approaching consumer advice.
We've joked, and we always round it off with the obligatory statement of "the neighbours will never know," and it is his influence.
It is his influence, for sure. Yeah, that his opinion that actually you don't have to buy a new car. There's lots of life in used cars, and there's lots of ways to make that work. And I'm not saying he was necessarily an advocate for what they call bangonomics, but he was sort of in that direction.
Yes, I would say that's fair.
And that's where his work with Warranty Wise came from, of course, to say, actually, there should be a way that you can buy a used car and still have some backup for it.
There was, and now, I think back, would it have been, I think, 2014, 2015, something around that time, where beneath some appalling animations was actually a tremendous car show, and it was, do you remember, it was the classic car show that he hosted with Jodie Kidd.
That's right. Yes, I did see some photos from that over the weekend. I'd forgotten who'd done that.
Now that ties in beautifully to used cars. All right, it was potentially the upper end, but there were still segments of that of going, well, actually, you can get an affordable classic. That's Quentin right there.
Yeah, and he was all for that. Yeah, absolutely. It doesn't have to be E-Type Jags and Ferrari Daytonas. You can actually, there is a more affordable end of the classic market where things are just as interesting.
So there is. Let me have a look. I did note something down. So part of his TV career that you and I probably won't have ever known about or watched, but feel we must mention because I'm sure he'd laugh it off as well, was that he participated in the second series of Strictly Come Dancing.
He did. I never saw it. Because I'm proud to say I've never watched a single episode of that. But I was aware that he'd done that. Yes. Didn't he get the lowest score ever?
The lowest score ever, which stands to this day.
Yeah, which apparently he was really proud of.
So, and that it was for the duration of this, that was his single dance.
Yes.
And that was it. All done.
Yes. Yeah. And it was awful.
I know you probably shouldn't judge by looking at someone visually. You probably go, I would have looked at Quentin and gone, yeah, you're probably not a dancer.
Yeah, he apparently, so I can't remember where I read this, he apparently said he was the JCB Digger of dancing.
Oh, well, that's fairly conclusive, isn't it?
It tells you everything you need to know, really. Yeah. But I suspect the JCB had a private plate on it.
Let me just have a look. Oh, this is excellent. So, I found a list of contestants of all time. And just to confirm, he still is by a clear 4 points the worst.
worst contestant they've ever had.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
for my money, that's something to be proud of. Definitely.
Yeah, I'll take that. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Blimey. But
it's a strange choice to do that. Maybe they knew it'd be awful. I don't know.
Maybe they did, or maybe he had his savvy head on and went, well, what are you going to pay me for such a thing? And
I'm going to be crap at it, but if you want to give me some money, I'll have a go.
I wonder what car he bought with the money.
What year did you say it was? 2004?
Yes.
Okay, so too early for his Model 3, which is what his daily driver has been the last few years. Oh, yeah. Tricky. 2004. Mitsubishi i-MiEV, because he had one of those when they first came out.
Did he?
He did. Because him and Robert Llewellyn, I believe, had the first two from the shipment to the UK. Because they knew each other from quite early on.
Let me have a little look, see what we got here. This is supposedly an article telling us about his car collection.
Well, I know he had an E-Type Jag.
Yep, that's here. Mini,
famously.
obviously.
He had a Mini. He definitely had a Mitsubishi i-MiEV. In more recent years, he had a Tesla Model 3. There was a Mercedes in there somewhere. I'm sure there was.
This is. I'm trying my best, but this is an appalling article written by a horrific tabloid that I won't name.
Okay.
So interesting that the i-MiEV you're on about.
Yeah,
that's in there. So Leaf, Zoe, Ampera, Citroen C0 EV, which is basically an i-MiEV as well.
Yeah. I know he's had lots of EVs. He got into it really early on because he was on the launch of the GM EV1, wasn't he? Famously.
Oh, God, blimey, yes, he would have been, wouldn't he?
Yeah, he was. And he made all the usual comparisons from the time that it takes forever to charge and the range is crap and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end, sitting on the bonnet in true Top Gear of the era style, he said, but having made all those points about the EV1, he said, but 5 years ago, mobile phones were rubbish as well. It was a brick. You could only talk for 5 minutes. It was heavy. And look where they are now. Cars are going to go the same way. He saw it right then. He saw that there was enough there that it was going to form a part of the future.
Let's be honest. We know that story all too well. And if it didn't go the way it did, we could be a lot further along, potentially.
Well, yes. I mean, the GM EV1 perhaps warrants a whole episode in itself. But
we've had a pretty good crack at it, haven't we?
We have. Anybody who doesn't know the story, it's fairly easy to find these days. But yeah, and I'd recommend the movie Who Killed the Electric Car if you want to know the history of that. But yes, I agree. I think we'd be a lot further along had GM not bottled it, having been terrified by their creation.
Yes, quite.
Or rather, the oil companies who finance them been terrified by their new creation.
There you go. That's the one.
That's what happened. Yes. But yeah, Quentin was on the launch of the EV1 and he saw it then that, whatever happened, battery electric was going to form part of the future.
Well, and here we are.
But yeah, a really shocking and sad moment to have lost Quentin. I posted a couple of videos on our Discord server. One of Quentin's review of used XJ40s, in which he does say the immortal line, put a cherished plate on it and the neighbours will never know.
Perfect. That's excellent. And it feels quite fitting that we mentioned the JD Power survey from 1996. I need to post the video to accompany that in there, because that obviously Quentin.
Yeah, Phil mentioned that to me, that it was kind of poignant that we should be talking about that just the other day. But sad times. We've lost one of the greats there.
We have. The world will be a worse off place without him in it, I'll be honest.
Yes, it's true.
So, I think we should move on to a segment that Quentin would actually approve of and probably wipe the floor with us on.
I suspect he would consider our efforts with this somewhat pathetic. Yes.
Yes. To say he would have given us a run for our money would be an understatement.
Yes. Yes. Wipe the floor with us, I suspect.
Yes. So we move on to the obligatory 2 truths and 1 lie, where we are stuck in a vicious cycle.
It do seem to be. When neither of us can make any significant progress.
No, every week we get a point each. So as it currently stands, it's 15-13, and then obviously you'll get a point in a minute. Then it'll go back to 1, and we'll have the joking around going, oh, if you don't score next week, I might be able to tie. And then we laugh it off, and it goes to 2 points the following week. So
we are stuck in that pattern. Yes,
we are. So last week we had a first, where I was kind enough to know 2 of them.
Yes, I that was really annoying.
Yeah, because it was that awkward moment going, oh, did we drag it out? What do we do here? And no, I know the answer.
I'm just going to say I know that, and I know that as well. Because if you just know one of them, that's not enough.
No, it's still hard work.
You've still got to choose between 2. But if you know 2 of them, it kind of does it for you, doesn't it? So,
yeah, it made it awfully clear cut last week.
Yes, you didn't drag it out, to your credit. You did just get on with it.
So this week it's my turn to fire some statements in your direction and see what you make of them.
Yes. Okay.
Do you have an implement device, any of the above, to tap these out on?
I have note-taking facilities in front of me. Yes. So
perfect.
Let's give it a go.
Okay, let's have at it. Right. So statement number 1. The Subaru XT dual drive, which was a prototype from 1988, experimented with 2 separate drivetrains, an electric front axle and a petrol rear axle.
Wow.
Well, I say
okay.
I wrote that a bit crap. You don't put petrol in the axle. It's got an engine that powers the rear axle. I'll be honest. I would
not recommend pouring petrol over your axle.
No. So yes.
Okay, say those details again. I've got the rest of it. I'll say the different drivetrains again for me, please.
Fine. I'll run through the whole thing. So Subaru XT dual drive prototype from 1988 experimented with 2 separate drivetrains, an electric front axle and a petrol rear axle powered by the engine, not by pouring petrol in the axle. So essentially it was some experimentation by Subaru in the early days of going, right, so I go at this hybrid malarkey while leaning on their 4-wheel drive expertise.
Okay. Yeah, that's quite plausible. Okay. Let's just make sure I've got those details.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Happy with that. Right, number 2.
Think so. Number 2.
The Saab 9000 Prometheus was a test car fitted with steer-by-wire joystick controls instead of a steering wheel. It was part of a research project to make more intuitive, safe vehicle interfaces.
I think I know that.
Oh, uh-oh, uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Oh, that spells trouble.
We got a news cycle. God.
I've seen that. I think that's absolutely true, because I think that was featured in an episode of old Top Gear. I think Clarkson drove it.
Okay.
I think that's absolutely true. Steer-by-wire joystick, no steering wheel.
Very good.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
I think that's true, but we'll park it there.
Okay. The Volvo prototype from 1972 introduced early versions of crumple zones, airbags, anti-lock brakes, and seatbelt pretensioners long before they were mainstream.
Yes. I think that's true as well.
Do you?
I do. Okay. A Volvo prototype from 1972. No name or model number for that?
Nothing conclusive other than a prototype.
Okay. Yep. Seatbelts, airbags, etc. You said. Just run through the details again.
Crumple zones, airbags, anti-lock brakes, and seatbelt pretensioners.
There we go. Okay. I know Volvo were very early to the game with safety stuff, even before it was mandated by legislation. But did it have all those? See, I think they definitely were early to the game with seatbelts. But whether it had pretensioners, crumple zones, airbags, and all that kind of malarkey, I am not sure. Interesting. Is that one of those things where you're basing that partly on truth and then embellishing it?
Well, I'm not going to say yes or no, am I?
No, obviously, that's
Why
a
would I do that?
question. I didn't expect you to answer that. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Saab 9000 Prometheus is true. I'm almost certain that
you
that
were
is in fact
relatively adamant, shall we say?
Yeah. Yeah. Now this is a Subaru.
Mm-hmm.
I've never heard of that.
Well, that counts for nothing, I'm afraid.
No, granted.
If this game has taught us anything.
Yes, our personal knowledge of not hearing something means absolutely nothing. That's the one I'm least happy with. Saab, I'm just going to say right now is true.
Mm-hmm.
Volvo were early to the game with safety stuff, but have you embellished that a bit by adding in crumple zones and airbags and things like that. They were certainly early to the game with seatbelts. Absolutely, definitely. I think we've talked about it on the podcast before.
We have.
But seatbelt pretensioners, crumple zones, airbags, etc. Have you taken the fact that they were early to that and embellished it a bit in order to be a git? Okay. Subaru XT. I've got a Subaru story to tell in a minute. It's nothing to do with this, but just before I forget.
I was going to say, if you had a Subaru XT story, I'd blimey.
No, I don't think it was an XT.
Okay.
I'll tell you after. After this. Doesn't shed me in the most favourable light, if I'm honest. But
I'm saying that. We'll judge when we get there.
Yes, I know nothing will stop the judgment. Okay, I have to decide here, aren't I, in a minute? Oh dear. I am okay. I'm gonna say I'm gonna say Subaru false, Saab true, because it is. That's not under debate, and Volvo true as well.
Happy with that?
False, true.
False, true. It's locked
is my
in.
Answer. It is.
I see. So, adamant about the Saab. Very interesting.
I am adamant about the Saab.
So, it's just the other two. Did Subaru do a thing? Was I git with Volvo? These are the questions.
These are the questions, yes.
So, I can inform you that the cycle is indeed intact. You are correct again.
We can't get out of this.
We can't get out of it. So, yeah, your reasoning was sound, because I went the other way with it. I grabbed that Volvo one with both hands and went, right, he'll think I've put this in to be a git because it's too obvious.
Yes.
I did not. You're right about the Saab. Yep, they put joysticks in it and go, oh, there.
Yeah.
That's an intuitive interface. No, it's not.
Yeah. It was rubbish.
Yeah, don't do that. You just because on the odd occasion you might make a plane does not mean we need a joystick in a car.
No, I remember Clarkson driving it and saying the wonder is that he had any control over the forward direction at all.
It did look particularly hazardous when I was researching it.
Awful.
So now the Subaru one isn't entirely true, but it is based on quite a lot of facts. The XT dual drive did not exist. However, Subaru got stuck in very early with all-wheel drive hybrids. They spent a lot of time and effort on that in that particular era.
Okay.
So there you go.
Interesting.
A hint of
did
truth.
not know that. I did not know that. Yes, well, that's always, it's good to start with that, I find. I use that a lot. I find sort of a little kernel of truth and then just layer a load of balls on top of it.
Quite. So there we go. 15-14. So
stuck again.
Yeah, so next week you'll say some words to me and I'll guess and get a point, and on it will go. Yeah.
Dear listener, do let us know if you've had enough of this ridiculous game at any point.
I don't know, mate. I think they probably enjoy our suffering at this point, don't they?
Yeah, probably. Well, occasionally, you see, they probably learn something because, I mean, we are, two of the statements every week are indeed true. So.
Oh yeah, this is fascinating.
We should be writing all these down and put it in a book and publish it and make millions.
Yeah, Richard Porter tried that. I don't think he's retired just yet. I mean, the books are excellent.
I don't think his books are excellent, but I don't think he's made millions.
No. No, it's a niche, pervy little audience.
It is.
and I can't really say that with too much judgment because I own every single one of his books.
Yes, you are. You are an avid reader of his output.
Yes, yes. All right, well, it rumbles on, doesn't it? However,
it does.
Subaru.
Oh yeah. Oh well, it's a silly story, really. On my drive home from the office this evening, there was something quite close behind me. Now it was dark, so I couldn't tell exactly what it was until we reached a section where overtaking was possible.
Yes.
And then I sort of heard this rumbling noise behind me, and then all the exhaust note and all the revving.
Oh,
and this blue device pulled alongside me, which I then ascertained was an Impreza, with all of the accessories and all of the decals, as far as I could see. And he was giving it beans, but I have to say, not making a tremendous amount of progress, and I might have been a little bit childish and put my foot down.
Well, these things happen in the real world, don't they?
These do happen in the real world, and I might have made him work. I might have made him work for it a bit.
And let's be clear, you put your foot down within the prescribed speed limit, obviously.
Oh, we did not exceed a speed limit because there were vehicles further along the road, so I was limited in my scope there. But yeah, I might have kept him out there for a bit longer than was absolutely necessary.
Dear, what? Well,
and off he went with all his exhaust note, and then the stench arrived.
Oh dear.
Of what I can only describe as not fully burned oil.
Oh dear.
Came through my vents at me.
Sounds as if he might have a mechanical issue en route.
Yeah, he was certainly making all the noise as he proceeded ahead of me. And of course at the next roundabout there he was, and I was right behind him, so it didn't get him anywhere.
No, he's not cleared off into the distance, has he?
No, he has not. But nevertheless, a fully kitted out Impreza, which you don't see that often.
No, they're not as commonplace as they once were.
No, and it was in the blue.
Good, so, good choice. Good choice.
Yeah, it looked tidy, but the smell did not sound healthy. It did not come across as healthy.
No, that's a failure is imminent.
Yeah, I think so. So, but I was slightly childish, and as I say, made him work for the overtake.
Very good. That's all right. That's in keeping with maturity levels. Well done.
I think so. It's holding up the standards there.
Yes. It is. We've got a bit of time left, and I know that you and I have threatened to discuss the upcoming Bond film. Now we've I did a bit of research on it, and I fear we may have over-egged this particular.
Yeah.
But I think we could probably have this wrapped up between 5 and 10 minutes.
There's not a lot at this point to talk about. No,
there's been a few bits that have popped out, and I think we should probably go right. Let's cover the headlines, keep it short and sweet, and see where we're at.
Yeah.
So basically, what we know is we had the official switch over, didn't we, to Amazon?
We had the switch over to Amazon from the Broccolis.
Yep.
Yes.
We've got our director, Denis Villeneuve, of Dune and Blade Runner 2049 fame, both acceptable offerings.
Yes.
We've got a writer,
Yeah.
Stephen Knight,
We do.
which is of Peaky Blinders fame. I'm ashamed to say, never watched a single episode.
No, nor me.
Would like to. I've gotten. It does interest me. It's one of those things. Never got around to it.
Yeah, no, me too. That just completely passed me by, that one, I'm afraid. It came out at a sort of point in time where I just didn't have any time to get into it, and I never have.
No, no, I think that's fair. We are being told through various articles that obviously we have no actor, but we have a sort of direction of young, fresh-faced, unknown, late 20s, early 30s.
Yeah, well, we've had a hint of a possible story direction which would lead us to a younger actor.
Yep.
Yeah. So, and Stephen Knight apparently has some form for spy thrillers. I'm not hugely familiar with his work, but I believe he has spent some time in that genre, shall we say?
Okay. No, this is interesting.
Yeah.
So
yeah, go on.
That's everything we've had that's even vaguely official.
Yeah.
The next sort of stuff is we've got a bit of conjecture, particularly this week. There's been an interesting amount of articles pop out in recent days, actually, of there being a bit of a behind-the-scenes struggle to know what to do with it.
Well, that's certainly plausible.
Yeah, a lot of places citing the fact that for decades, Bond was accepted that a new face would appear and play the character. That's a thing.
Bit wobbly the first time they tried that, but we got past it.
Yeah, quite. But this is the first time anyone's had to do it after he died.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's going to be a function of how they handle it, isn't it? Because,
and
as we've discussed,
that's a genuine point of the struggle, which has been reported in more than one place. Going, well, you've killed him. That really does make the switchover a bit more complicated.
It's a bit tricky than ever before, unless they treat the Daniel Craig films in their own bubble, which is kind of the only way I've been able to learn to live with it. And
I'm way happier
they just sort of don't
with them
mention
on their own.
that. Yeah. And you sort of say, well, this is going to carry on. Well, two things. It either carries on from where Pierce Brosnan left off, or they reset again. And there has been some speculation, particularly in the light of the new game, 007 First Light, that they might go further back into Bond's past. I know we've sort of had the origin story with Casino Royale, but further back, possibly back as far as Bond still being in the Royal Navy.
Yeah, that could work. But you also, like, if we do treat the Craig era in its own bubble, then going back somewhere around sort of Casino Royale timing, in terms of Bond's career, that is, is possible.
Yeah, I think so. I think if they try to carry on from the Craig era and come up with some MacGuffin for how he wasn't really killed, or they've managed to glue him back together or something like that, I think they could very easily go off the rails with that.
Yes, I hadn't considered that, but if they do find a bit of him and clone him from a fried bollock or something, that's not.
Oh, I think you need to send that idea in. Think an email tomorrow morning. Dear Mr. Knight.
Oh.
Have you considered that I was thinking more along the lines of some sort of dream sequence, or but I actually now prefer your suggestion.
Oh, okay, right. We think we should run with that. Right, okay.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I think that could be a direction that no one else has considered. And thus re-demonstrating why we don't write movies.
Well, hang on though. We have listeners. Let's get some feedback. Would anyone like to see that story?
Yeah, do tell us, because we could start writing that and send it in. Yes. Another way in which we will not make millions.
Oh God.
Oh no. Yeah. So. Yeah. So do they? I think that's the choice, really. Do they? There's three ways they either ignore the Daniel Craig era and just carry on as if Brosnan had just finished it, or they go right back to the start again, or they just ignore the whole thing and just start again as if Daniel Craig hadn't been, as if No Time to Die had never been made, which some say would have been a good thing.
It does come with its own problems. Yes, I'll grant you.
It certainly does. Yeah.
Okay.
Whether they've decided any of that yet or not, obviously we wouldn't know.
So there's it's either the fact they haven't, and these articles are true, that there is a genuine struggle going on, which could lead us to the biggest pause between films.
Well, we're teetering on the brink of that already.
Well, it's difficult, isn't it? Because our biggest pause has been 6 years between releases, isn't it?
License to Kill to GoldenEye, yeah.
So we are, because No Time to Die was delayed, that has actually helped. So it gives them a fighting chance. But they've got just shy of 2 years now to get it to a cinema screen.
Which should be doable if they get a wriggle on. I don't believe Villeneuve is available yet. So they may not be getting a lot of input from their director. Because he's finishing the Dune stuff, isn't he? First,
that is correct.
Before
he
starts work on Bond.
That's it. The Dune thing is a trilogy, and he's on the third as we speak.
He's doing the third as we speak, so he hasn't started work on it yet. Whether the writer has or not, I don't know.
Bloody hope so, because they
I
need
would
to get
hope
something down.
So. I quite like the idea of a much earlier story, and of course that's a lot of that speculation came from the new game, where we have a very young Bond, and something of an expansion of the story of Bond's parents, which is only ever really touched on in the books. I know we've had some expansion of that with Skyfall. But in the game, they've expanded on that a lot.
They've embellished that a little bit, and it's interesting.
Really embellished that. Yeah, it is interesting, and they've come up with some. I think that's been done quite well. I'm very eager to play that game.
Oh yeah, we're still.
But
well, it's next year at some point, I think, is the gist.
It's next year at some point. I think there was some fear that it was going to come out at the same time as Grand Theft Auto 6 and just kind of get a bit lost. But now Grand Theft Auto 6 has been delayed again. So it could be they can get First Light out before GTA 6, which I think would help it.
Yes, but I mean, what did GTA 6 got bumped to November, didn't it?
Got bumped to November, so and there was some concern that First Light and GTA 6 were going to launch at the same time, which I think could only hurt First Light, to be honest.
Yes. Let's see if there's any Oh, there we go. So, it's got an actual date. 27th of March, 26 is what it's penciled in as at the moment.
Right. So that's a good few months before. Yep. GTA 6, so I think that's a good thing. That'll give it a fighting chance.
Yep.
I mean, from the half-hour preview that they put out, half-hour gameplay that they put out, which I have watched, I think it looks absolutely superb.
Yeah, I think it's more finished than I thought it would be. So
yeah, it looks very, very polished already. Good car action, which obviously is.
We did. Yeah, we covered that. We were all on that.
We did.
Yeah,
all over that. No. So yeah. So my point is that I wonder if some of the speculation about it being an origin story has come from the game, which of course has nothing to do with the movie. But I think unless they do an origin story, they're going to have to, one way or another, address the mess that is the end of No Time to Die.
Yes.
So we'll see.
We will. But we did promise to cover it, and we have just covered it.
We have. My son's odyssey through the Bond films has continued. He has just completed Die Another Day. So well, you say that, but he really enjoyed it. And has given it a very high score. I'm looking at a graph that he has sent me, ranking each of the movies out of 10. There is a lot more data available from him, but this is a kind of executive summary, you will, on the first watch through. He is planning to go back and do some of them again. Would you do a brief moment on this before we move on? Would you like to know, let's say, the top 3?
I would, because I don't know what to expect from this.
Well, there's some joint plays. There's 2 films in first place on current scores. There's 2 films in second place, and then there's a single film in third place.
Okay. Fine. Let's what we got.
So, where would you like me to start? Third place or first place?
Third place, please.
Third place. So, in third place, on 8.5 out of 10, is The Man with the Golden Gun.
Oh.
Now, I think that's a discerning choice.
I do like The Man with the Golden Gun. Well, well documented. We're fans of.
Yeah, we are.
Nice to know that.
So
he is too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Really enjoyed that. Enjoyed that. In joint second place, with 9 out of 10, is The Spy Who Loved Me and Octopussy.
Roger is presenting well here.
He is. He really is.
Okay.
He really is.
Some good choices, really good. You're going to get no
solid choices
arguments there.
Solid choices.
First place then.
Joint first place is at 9.5 out of 10, so nearly maximum points, is The Living Daylights and The World Is Not Enough.
Brilliant choices. Brilliant.
Again, really solid. Yes.
Really good.
Yeah.
Okay. So, with the time between now and next recording, he should have wrapped up the Craig era.
He should have wrapped up the Craig era. He's having a break this evening, but will be getting onto Casino Royale during for his Friday evening. So
I do envy him for that.
Yeah, I do. I'm a bit jealous there. Yeah. Yeah, I have advised that it is sort of accepted as a good idea to watch Casino Royale and Quantum of Solace back to back, but that is over then 4 hours of solid watching. So we'll see if that works out.
It is the way to do it.
It is the way to do it.
It improves it.
Is a lot better if you
immeasurably.
Do it like
yes.
Yeah, it does.
Okay, that's good. All right, well, we'll revisit after we've had the Craig era, but that's interesting stats.
Would you like to know the lowest score before we just leave that?
Oh, probably should. Yeah.
Yes, the absolute worst of all of them he's watched so far. Dr. No, which sort of is a credit to him for keeping going. If he did that so much, 0.5 out of 10.
That's outrageously harsh.
It's really harsh.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, we'll have to see whether he revisits and reevaluates, because I feel
he does plan to revisit the Connery era, because I think he kind of struggled with it a bit up front. They are quite dated now.
Yeah.
And he's not used to watching older movies of that era, so he does plan. He does sort of accept that his ranking of those is perhaps a little harsh, and he's going to revisit them.
No, that's fair. Very good. So we've done what we said. We've covered what we were going to. Next week, I've given you a hypothesis, and we need to discuss that.
You have, and I'm looking forward to discussing that. That's going to be good. Yes.
We'll say no more. Leave people wondering what that'll be.
Be on the edge of their seats, I'm sure.
I would have thought so. That's okay.
Not if you're driving, though. That could. I know a lot of people listen to our podcast while driving. Don't be on the edge. It'll screw you up.
No, safety first. Sit properly. Come on.
Yes.
Seatbelts on. Eyes forwards. Yes. Lovely.
Yes. Don't relax and close your eyes. Don't do that.
No. Never do that. Never. Not to our dulcet tones. My goodness me. All right. We'll revisit our 2 truths, 1 lie cycle and our hypothesis next week.
I'm very much looking forward to hypothesizing.
Well, I think that's probably enough of that for this week. Check us out on all the various social medias and things. Thank you very much for listening.